In this case, in my brother's case, they didn't do that. They just said no, 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 no. And as a result, he was denied the benefit of even being married. He was denied the benefit of even being married in the first place. Okay? Because as I explained to you guys, marriage is not just about, oh, I love you so much, and oh, I just want to be with you together forever. Oh, I love you, love you. No. TV did that to everybody. Marriage is very similar to a business becoming incorporated under the state. Let me say that again. Marriage is the same thing as you taking a business and incorporating it under the state, okay? If you register your business as a LLC, or if you register the business as just a corporation, a S Corp or a C Corp, then now that business is bound to the authorities of those state statutes. And let me go into further detail and tell you what that means. That means that if somebody sue you and you are a corporation, you cannot go into court and represent that business without an attorney, because guess what? That business is considered a state agent. A state agent can only be represented by an attorney. All right? All right? Because that incorporation, that state incorporation makes it a state entity. So it can only be represented by an attorney, okay? Because it's not a person, all right? So I bring that up because I wanna draw a picture real quick, if you will. That is important because when you married to somebody, now instead of you just being their boyfriend or their girlfriend, or just together, or just hanging out or kicking it, you guys are now incorporated with one another. All right? So you're no longer two people. You are one person. All right? The only thing that will make you not be one person is a clause in a prenuptial agreement or a clause in a mid-nuptial agreement. Okay? This is why you have some people that say, oh, did you sign a prenup? Did you sign a prenup? Did you sign a prenup? Many of you probably heard that and probably didn't know what it was. A prenuptial agreement is stipulations saying that, okay, if this happens, then this, we agree that this happens like this. If we divorce like this, then this gotta happen, or this happened. Or if you divorce me within this many years, you don't get nothing. You see what I mean? It's stipulations to that marriage contract. Okay? That's what the prenup is. All right? So when there is no prenup, there is no, okay, you got married and you still two people. None of that. You still one person. So that means that if y'all separate, then essentially what that means is everything get divided in half from the time that y'all married, from the time that y'all divorced. Okay? And a lot of times the courts can adopt what they call in Ohio a de facto separation date. Now, a de facto date of termination is basically a date that the court feel like, okay, that was the last time y'all really dealt with each other. Even though y'all might have terminated the divorce. I mean, even though y'all divorce might have lasted technically 10 years, but it was 6 years that y'all last lived together. So we're going to just say 6 years and cut off the other, okay? That's called a de facto date of separation, okay? That happened in my brother's case, all right? That happened. So the de facto determination date in his case was October 31st, 2015. So let me break that down, what that means. That means that nothing after October 31st, 2015 can come up in court or can be determined to determine marital property or marital values or none of that, okay? That means that nothing after that de facto date can be determined or talked about to decide marital property. It's from the time that they was married to the de facto date. That's the window. Anything outside of that window is irrelevant, okay? Now let's get back to this motion for summary judgment that these creatures filed on the 23rd of this month, a couple days ago. So what they did is when a divorce decree came out, I took a look at it and I was quite disturbed. Because I was disturbed for several reasons, because they continued fraudulent activity. Okay? They continued fraudulent activity. Okay? All right? I want to say that because they used the fact that my brother bought a 2019 Audi A4 in 2019. That's supposed to be irrelevant. That's outside of the de facto date. Then they had him turn over the amount of money that he had in the bank in 2019 and used that to calculate marital property. Use the 2019 Audi value to calculate marital property. Okay. And also cited fees that I paid already on his behalf, that was already paid, that's documented, that's in my name on the exhibits of the federal case, and use that to make deductions in the marital decree, divorce decree that came out, that was filed on the docket in the Franklin County Domestic Court on May 1st, 2020. So that supports my argument that this Hobbs Act extortion, embezzlement from an employee benefit plan, and more was continuous and ongoing. Okay? And that all of these predicate acts that was committed by all of these defendants in this case have a flavor of relatedness. All right? These people are in federal court and still committing crimes. Still committing crimes. And their lawyers are still lying. Still filing papers, lying. 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 Okay? So this is something that I wanted to address. I started not to make this video, but I'm in this thing too deep. And this is ongoing. And so basically, essentially, there was about $70,000 in theft that just took place. And this is so sad, because how are you in federal court being tried and you still stealing? You still stealing. You still lying. You still fraudulent. Okay? You still fraudulent. You still fraudulent. That supports not only closed-ended continuity, but that supports open-ended continuity. It supports closed-ended continuity because even if you take the date from July 16, 2017, that was essentially 35 months ago. All right? 35 months ago. So from that time to this time, and on May 1st, you guys came out with a divorce decree with this circus stuff still going on. Yes, an example has to be made. An example has to be made. Okay? Because this is the season of accountability. All right? There comes a season of accountability, whether you like it or not. There's a season for accountability. All right? That's why you have some of these police officers, okay, like Detective William Wallace in this situation, who has to be held liable. He has to be held liable. And that's why in America, you have so many incidents where there was police involved that did heinous crimes that they were let off the hook for, but they are now being reprimanded for, because this is the season for accountability. All right? This is the season for it. These gangs and these committing crimes with impunity and getting let off, the people not standing for that no more. The people not standing for that no more. That ship sailed. And that's why a lot of these defendants, some of these defendants that were even removed from this action, they're going to get it on appeal. They're going to get it. Their nightmare is not over. The only way that they don't is if they come to the table and they willing to do some willing and dealing and some talking. Some talking. Because if they ain't talking, they ain't walking. Okay? So there's a season for accountability. All right? Regardless of all this other stuff that's been going on. The focus is razor sharp. Okay? The focus is razor sharp. All right? You can't commit crimes with impunity and just think, oh, it's just going to go away. The issue is going to get worse and worse and worse. The more you resist, the nastier it's going to get. All right? And I also want to address one of the defendants that was removed from the action by the name of Catherine White. I do want to say that Catherine White, she is, like I said in the other video, she is better than a lot of these other defendants. And I say that because, you know, she showed a certain level of compassion and remorse. She know what they did was foul, okay? And I want to say that we will not be pursuing no appeals or anything against Miss Catherine White. She's been through enough hell. So we're going to let that one go ahead and go, all right? But these other people will be chipped away with a fine-tooth razor. If every little nook and cranny will be picked apart, sand down, microscoped, and kaleidoscoped. Everything will be broken down and we will find a way to get you. Okay? So the game is not over. It's not over. Okay? It can be over if they step up to the plate, accept accountability, and pay for what they did. But you don't just get to ride off into the sun. Okay? Because just because you get judicial immunity or any kind of immunity that you have gotten, okay, you're not supposed to get judicial immunity for committing criminal acts, first of all. These acts are criminal. But the RICO law allows to bring the civil remedy, even though that these are criminal statutes. Okay? All right? So we're going to talk about that later on in another video. But I want to bring the focus back to these defendants that filed this motion for summary judgment. They filed it, and their main two arguments that this wasn't a continuous crime. Oh, it definitely was. It definitely was and is ongoing. Okay? And is ongoing. The damages is ongoing. The financial damages is ongoing. The ruining of my credit is still ongoing. Okay? My brother, he filed bankruptcy chapter 7, so he got a clean slate. I didn't. So I still have things affecting me financially from this incident that are on my credit report still to this day. Okay, so those damages are continuous and ongoing. They continue to affect my credit rating. Okay, I have money that I owe to banks because of this situation. You see what I mean? That I still owe. All right. So I don't want to hear any of these things about these arguments, these baseless, bold-faced, lying-ass arguments that they put in this motion for summary judgment. All right? They motion for judgment on the pleadings already got denied. There were concrete financial losses that happened. Okay? They intended to steal $300,000, up to $300,000 from my brother. They intended to steal. So under federal law, they could still be held liable for intended damages and actual damages. They actually caused me personally thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars of damages. Okay, that's calculatable and measurable, including me having to send off that next day mail pleading that I sent off, which costed me $50 to send off to the court. It'll hit their docket tomorrow. It'll get delivered at their doors tomorrow. Okay? That's still monetary damages. Okay? That stuff has added up over the period of these years. Okay? Even from July 16, 2017 up to date, that money has still added up. It's tallied up. So don't give me this about there was no concrete financial damages. You don't know the law. You don't know the federal law. And you also didn't read the complaint. Their counsel didn't read the RICO complaint, evidently, because you would have seen on page 200 that we allege that the crime is continuous and ongoing. You know that there's open-ended continuity because these are regular practices that they use on people. Okay? That's why the judge's bailiff, Kim Brown's bailiff, I'm not going to say her name because I'm going to let her live. But Judge Kim Brown in the Franklin County Court, her bailiff said, well, you don't want your divorce to go on for 3 years. And at the time, it hadn't even been a year. You don't want it to go on for 3 years. We got a guy whose divorce been in here for 3 years. And